Welcome back to Smoky Ribs. I'm Russ Jones. Today I've got the Santa Maria fired up once again. If you checked out my last video, towards the end of that video I showed you two separate tri-tips that came from two separate farms that were distributed through Crowd Cow. I'll have a link in the description for Crowd Cow. You really need to check them out. But we're going to do these two tri-tips. We're going to get started here right after this. And in addition to that, I'm also doing baked potatoes. Going to have a little French bread off to the side. It's going to be good. Stick around. So like I said in the intro, today I'm doing two different tri-tips that came from two different farms. But the first thing we're going to do is get some baked potatoes on. We're just going to put them right on the charcoal, kind of like camp style cooking, if you will. But what I've got here is I've got some Fogo super premium lump charcoal. They're really big chunks. And I've also put a couple of pieces, couple splits of post oak. We can't get red oak. Traditionally in California, they cook their tri-tip Santa Maria on a Santa Maria grill using red oak. That can't happen because I can't get it. So I've got 6 of these potatoes and we're just going to lay them right on the charcoal. I will give these a turn from time to time. Got 2 more going on here. All right. Getting ready to bring the tri-tip out here. We're going to lower this grate and we're going to season on the indirect side, and I'll show you what I'm using. Here are the two tri-tips. Came from 2 different farms, and I just want to kind of compare to see if there's any major taste difference between these 2 farms. And in keeping in Santa Maria style, I am using kind of a Santa Maria rub. It's salt, pepper, garlic, which I use a lot on a lot of things, with the addition of a dried parsley. And there's different recipes, but primarily that's what it consists of. So I've got my SPG right here, salt, pepper, garlic, and we're just going to put a generous amount. This is a pretty good chunk of meat here. This one weighed in at 2.10 pounds. And this one here, this is like 2 3/4 of a pound, 2.5 to 2 3/4. Typically, tri-tip's going to run 2.5 pounds, unless you get a really monster tri-tip. So we're going to add some parsley. This is just a dried parsley. All right, I'm going to flip these over. Going to give it the same treatment. And here in just a few minutes, we're going to put it over here on the hot side. We're going to adjust to Santa Maria until I think we're at the heat we need to be. So I'm going fat side up. There's really not much fat on this one. There is a little bit right in here on this one. So I've got my grate leveled out to where I can hold my hand. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6, and it's starting to get pretty hot. You'll learn these Santa Maria grills after a while. On the rib video I did here a while back, if you noticed, I was doing an 8 count, 8 to 10, because it's more of a low and slow, where this tri-tip needs to cook at a little bit more rapid rate. And if this turns out the way I'm hoping, I shouldn't even have to do a sear on this. And I'll make that determination there at the end by looking at the color, but I shouldn't have to. I thought I'd let you see the very first flip anyway. I had to adjust this down. Our coals or wood finally stopped burning, and it's turned into burning coals, and that's really what you want on a Santa Maria. If you have a little fire, no big deal. Just really don't want it coming in too much contact with the meat, especially on something like this, because the object is to kind of cook it what we would normally call indirect or reverse sear, and that's basically what we're doing, even though the fire is right below us. That's feeling pretty good. I might have to lower it again at some point, but every 15 minutes we're going to rotate this. And as you can see, it's already starting to form a bit of a crust. I mean, this is the first flip, so that's why I was saying we may not even have to sear this when it's all said and done. We might have a nice crust with a perfect interior, so that's yet to be seen. All right, so I'm actually developing a bit of a crust on this, as you can see right here, but I still think I'm gonna lower it down and just do a real fast sear. So we're going down right there at great level. We're just gonna sear this off very, very fast. Go right back up where I was, and then I'm gonna put these off to the side to rest. So as I said, I've got my tri-tip over here resting. I just pulled the potatoes, and as you can see, they are very well done, very tender. And over here I've got French bread that I'm just putting over the heat to kind of crust up that top and bottom. Ooh, it's gonna be good. All right, we'll be cutting into this meat here in just a few minutes. All right, I'm gonna take this first tri-tip. This is the one that comes from Glen Mary up in Virginia. And you might be able to see it on video, but this grain is running this away, and on this part it's running this away. So what I normally do is I normally cut right down the middle like this. This one will be cut across here, and this one will be cut up. Look at that, man. We got the perfect medium rare. Flies are wanting it too. That looks fantastic. All right, that's exactly what I was hoping for. Now, tri-tip, the good thing about a tri-tip is if you have people in your family that likes it done, well done, medium, you're gonna get all that because of the shape of it. So we're gonna start right here. We're gonna cut some slices off. And I might actually have to take this indoors to finish slicing because of these ruthless man-eating flies we got here. That is some beautiful looking meat, and it's cutting very tender. Now see, that's more of a medium, as you can see. And towards the middle, you get more of a medium rare. So it's got a little bit for everyone. Once again, I really love the style of cooking on this Santa Maria. It's unlike, you know, what we're used to doing on Weber's and Kamados, where you do a reverse sear with a dome that you cover and you monitor it with thermometers. By the way, I never did monitor this. I was going strictly by old school. Now, I did have to research it, but old school Santa Maria cooking. And it takes roughly an hour to get it just like this. Flip every 15 minutes. Hold your hand over it to where you can not hold it beyond 5 to 6 seconds. And you'll end up with a similar product. Get away, flies. That is fantastic looking. Now this is the one that comes from Wolf Farms in Pennsylvania, and this is a little thin piece here on the end, so you can bet this is going to be very well done right here towards the end. Actually, it's got a nice color. Check that out. I would have never dreamed that in a million years. This one also feels nice and tender to the cut. Maybe not quite as much as the one that came from Glen Mary Farms. Seems a little bit more firmer, but not enough to talk about. All right, let's see. I'm getting into different grain here. We're going to start this one here. These flies are just ruthless. Take a look at this plate. This is our supper. Tri-tip couldn't have turned out no better. So here's a piece from the Glen Mary farm. Beautiful flavor on that tri-tip. And as you can see, our potatoes turned out really well, really tender. I've got a mango habanero Gouda cheese along with a sharp cheddar, some sour cream in the bottom, a little bit of green onion. This should be killer. Man, I instantly picked up on that mango. That is fantastic. Got some bacon in there too. You can't really see the bacon, but it's in there. There it is. All right, let's try our bread. We're fixing to bring this party indoors because it is hot out here, and I can't enjoy eating when it's hot. I really enjoy cooking on a Santa Maria. It's different, you know, from what we normally do. And it's all about knowing just when to have that fire just right or have it elevated to the right heat and things like that. And I don't think I'm doing too bad for only really my second cook on this thing. So it's like I said in another video, it's pretty much is instinct if you've done any amount of grilling or whatever. And it's fun not relying on thermometers for a change. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank Crowd Cow for sending out 2 fantastic tri-tips. Thank Lone Star Grillz for producing fantastic products. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, smoke your ribs.